Have you ever noticed that the more you chase happiness, the harder it seems to find? You go on vacation to relax, yet spend the whole trip worrying if you're relaxed enough. You try to stay positive, but feel guilty when you're not happy. You do everything that's supposed to bring joy and still feel something's missing. This strange truth has a name, the paradox of hedonism. It's the idea that the more directly we pursue pleasure, happiness, or fulfillment as goals in themselves, the more they seem to escape us. Like trying to hold water in your hands, the tighter you grip, the faster it slips through your fingers. Philosopher John Stuart Mill, who spent his life thinking about happiness and ethics, said it clearly. Ask yourself whether you are happy, and you cease to be so. Why? Because happiness isn't like a trophy you can grab. It's more like a shadow. It follows you when you walk in a certain direction, but disappears when you try to chase it head-on. We live in a time when happiness is a cultural obsession. Billions of dollars are spent every year on self-help books, apps, courses, diets, retreats, all promising to unlock happiness. We track our moods, meditate for results, optimize our habits. And yet, anxiety, loneliness, and depression are at all-time highs. Could it be that the pursuit of happiness is actually making us less happy? It turns out, we're not wired to find lasting joy by constantly thinking about it. And when pleasure becomes the sole purpose of our actions, but then we adapt. We crave more, and the baseline rises. This is called hedonic adaptation, the tendency of humans to return to a relatively stable level of happiness despite major positive or negative events. You get the promotion, the new car, the recognition. And it feels amazing until it doesn't. And then you need the next hit. This endless treadmill, always reaching, never arriving, is sometimes called the hedonic treadmill. And it can leave us exhausted, empty, and confused. So what's the alternative? Many philosophers and psychologists suggest that happiness is best approached indirectly, not as the goal, but as the byproduct of something deeper. Think about it. When do people report feeling truly fulfilled? It's often when they are not thinking about happiness at all. It's when they are building something, caring for someone, creating art, solving a problem, practicing a skill, helping a cause. In these moments, we become absorbed, engaged, alive, not because we are seeking pleasure, but because we're immersed in something meaningful. And when we look back, we often say, those were the happiest times. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, wrote that happiness cannot be pursued, it must ensue. It arises when we dedicate ourselves to something greater than ourselves, when we lose ourselves in purpose. In his view, we don't find meaning by asking, what makes me happy? But by asking, what am I here for? What are you willing to struggle for? What matters enough to endure discomfort, failure, uncertainty? Because ironically, the path to a deeper, more lasting happiness often runs straight through discomfort. It comes from loving fully, even when it hurts. From risking failure in the pursuit of mastery. From sacrificing short-term pleasure for long-term growth. Pleasure can be sweet, but meaning gives it weight. Of course, this doesn't mean we should avoid joy or deny ourselves simple pleasures. Happiness matters. It feels good to laugh, to rest, to celebrate, to enjoy what life offers. But when happiness becomes the point of everything, it tends to collapse in on itself. Like eating only sugar, at first, it tastes amazing. But over time, it leaves you sick, empty, and craving real nourishment. So maybe the key isn't to stop wanting happiness, but to stop treating it like a destination. It's not a place you arrive. It's a companion that joins you when you're walking a different road, when you're focused on love, growth, kindness, purpose. The happiest people aren't those who ask, am I happy, every day? They are the ones who ask, am I living fully? Am I giving my best to what matters? Am I growing, connecting, becoming? So what does this mean for you? It means happiness isn't a goal. It's a signal. A sign that you're aligned with your values. A reflection of meaningful choices. A reward for showing up fully in your life. And it doesn't always look like joy. Sometimes happiness shows up quietly. As peace.as gratitude. So don't chase happiness like a prize. Invite it by living a life worth living. Ask yourself, what pulls me forward? What am I willing to work for, even when it's hard? What would I do even if no one noticed or applauded? Follow that. And maybe, just maybe, happiness will follow you. What do you think? Is happiness a goal or a side effect?